I'm the Lord.
Are you serious?
F you, Lord. F you. Mind your own f***ing business.
If you ever ride public transit, you may come across an uncomfortable situation. Now, a recent incident captured on video has us questioning what to do.
That person is very, very volatile, and anything can trigger them.
This is the St. Clair right-of-way at Avenue Road. One man who lives here thinks this is simply an accident waiting to happen. He says the design is terrible.
Something has to change.
What does the TTC think? Is it sticking by its guns? We'll have their answer coming up.
Here it is, this year's Sunshine List. It's heavier than last year's. Coming up, why it's playing right into Doug Ford's hands.
For the hard-working people of Ontario, there's nothing sunny about this list.
If you ever ride public transit, you may come across an uncomfortable situation, like an argument, what you may think is bullying or even racism. That's what some claim happened on Wednesday.
Yo, how about you shut the up? You disrespectful piece of. Are you stupid talking to that girl like that? Are you dumb?
This video was posted to Twitter of the alleged incident. We decided to blur the faces in the video as well as not show the face of the victim we interviewed for fear of backlash against those involved.
We were coming home from downtown and we went on subway on Bloor and Yonge, and we met this guy. He was talking to himself and we didn't care because people talk to themselves on the subway. Until I noticed my friend wasn't paying attention to what I was talking to her. And yeah, the guy, when I looked at the guy, he said, "Oh, shut up, you're slaves." So one guy on the left was like, "Oh, you can't say that."
That's when the victim says the person recording the video intervened.
I will personally kick you off the train. You called her asleep. Get the train. I will physically beat the out of you. Get the out of the train right now.
I really appreciate the guy because everybody else was quiet until he intervened. He actually defended us because we were defenseless in a way that we couldn't do anything about the situation because we were getting offended and nobody else was doing anything. So he might say it's not the right way to approach it, but to me it sounds like the right way because he was saving us.
You should wear a veil on your tongue. You know, the Taliban might be looking for you.
There are other examples of similar incidents. Here's another recent incident caught on video on Calgary Transit, where a man was apparently using racial slurs towards a female passenger. Two different situations, two different places. But Paul Hyman, a de-escalation expert, says they could have been addressed in a similar way, starting with your voice.
You want to be very precise. Sir, I need you to lower your voice. So we talked about paraverbal communication, that about 38% of communication is our tone of voice. Another key piece to be aware of is your proximity space. If you can see my feet and my eyes at the same time, even if I attempted to kick you, my leg isn't long enough.
Toronto Transit Commission official Brad Ross says although a passenger does have the right to intervene when faced with an uncomfortable situation, it's best to leave it in the hands of authorities.
If you feel threatened in any way, and in this case I would feel uncomfortable being on that train, use the emergency alarm. That's what it's there for. It's that yellow strip that we see on all subway trains. By pressing that alarm, what happens is the train comes to the next station, the doors open, we don't trap anybody in a train, and the train sits there until we investigate. 911 is immediately called, and in this case police would have been dispatched and our special constables would have been dispatched to deal with this situation.
The TTC also add that you can download their Safe TTC app and report an incident. Stella Acquisto, City News.